Hello and welcome. So this is going to be the second try to do this live stream today, as I had some serious problems starting this wonderful 828 T6 Texan earlier today, and I now downloaded a update for the AccuSim plugin, and hopefully it will work now. I'm not exactly sure, but we will try out in a minute. This is the continuation of my live stream going from Alaska to northern or southern California, and we're currently at Bella Bella Airport, and we're going to Bella Coola Airport, which is a full-blown add-on airport from ORBX. So we're going to have some pretty sights there. So we're still in the Pacific Fjords region, and we will try to start this beautiful aircraft now. So let's see. So at least in my opinion, the startup procedure for these airplanes is pretty demanding. For the A2A airplanes, you have to be pretty accurate, so I hope this will work. Okay, nav and strobe light, and we're going to activate the primer now. Two and 3, and hopefully come on. Doesn't work. So mixture full rich. Ah, the fuel tank selector was it off. Ah. Okay, we have startup. Thankfully, so we will switch on the cabin heater and the cabin vents. Close the lid and let the machine reach its operating temperature. We will also use pitot heats. The avionics, we'll switch them on right now, and the autopilot master switch. Where is it? It should be here, actually. Ah, okay, because it... okay. All right. Vada Momo, hello. Welcome to the stream. So, I'm going to give the engine some RPMs just to make it warm up. We're already going to extend the flaps about 15 degrees. And thankfully the startup did work now. We're going to take off in the other direction actually, or in this direction actually, but we are going to have to do the taxi here. So I'm still waiting for the engine to warm up a little bit. So this is going to be a very short hop today. It's not going to be a long flight. It's okay, so the cylinder head temperature is rising, which is good, and we are at 160 approximately. And I think we're good to go. Okay, so release the parking brakes. This is also moments of truth because yeah, it's working. Okay. And we're going to do the backtrack here on the runway. And I'm going to switch on the carburetor heat. Unfortunately, it's pretty bad weather today, so I'm trying to keep a low profile so that we can still maintain ground sight. Okay, engine is coming to life because of the carburetor heat. You can see it's pretty hard to taxi here. with your sights obstructed by this tail dragger. And you can actually pull the elevators up so that you will have a steerable tail wheel, and you can leave them neutral, and then you will steer with your brakes like I'm doing right now. So let's see if I'm able to do this here. Okay, I'm too fast. Let's just... okay. Alright, okay, this should work. Okay, so we still need to do the run-up check. So let's just apply the brakes here. So we'll go to 16 RPMs and we'll check right, both, left, check both, and also the carburetor heats. Alright, so we're good to go. We are ready for takeoff. Cylinder head temperature is in the lower green, so we're good with that, and we can take off. So let's go. Okay, do a little rudder dance till we see the runway. Keep her straight on the runway and go for about 80 knots and then rotate. Yeah, just about that. And as soon as we have positive climb, gear up. Retract flaps. And proceed on course. Just reduce the RPMs and the manifold pressure a little bit because we're in the red zone right now and we don't want that. Just go into a slow climb here, and we can already apply the autopilot to hold the course. We're going to do just a slow climb here. And as I said before, I'm going to maintain a low altitude because of the low visibility that we're experiencing right now here on this track. So I think I'm fine with this altitude. I'm going to level off here. Alright, looks fine to me. We're on track. So the problems that I had earlier with starting the plane, I thought that I flooded the engine, but I was already streaming and I wasn't able to get rid of the problems, so I switched off the stream again, and I looked everything up, if everything is up to date, and it turned out that I was missing a EcuSim update. The problems that I had were known, and they already fixed that with an update. So the A2A community, or the developer, the community is very active, and the developer is very responsive to support questions. So you will almost always get an instant answer there within a few hours, and somebody will try to help you. So they already released an update for the EcuSim package, which comes with the T6 Texan, and I installed that and everything, and I deleted a small file that they recommended to delete, and that worked fine. So yeah, everything's fine now, as you can see. And I was even able to manually start the engine, which is not always the case, but at least it's easier, and at least in my opinion, than in the A2A Cessna 172 trainer. So let's do an instrument check. We are at 122 knots in airspeed, which is fine for this cruise. We are leveled, altitude is okay, manifold pressure is okay, RPMs are okay. We are leveled off, we're not climbing, we're not sinking. We're at max 79, which is fine. No suction is okay. This one's okay. Check, check. Cylinder head temperature, check. Fuel pressure, oil temperature, check. Ampere meter, check. Yeah. So everything's in order. So I'm not doing this for fun. You should really check your instruments in this plane, because I was in one of my very first flights with this plane. I was flying in pretty similar conditions to this one, and I forgot to turn on the carburetor heat, and I was losing engine power, and so yeah, that was pretty stressful for me, because I actually crashed. And it reminds you what you should do as a pilot. You should always check the instruments and check for something which is out of the order. So it is a very, very, very realistic airplane, and which makes it very, very big fun to fly. So this one is a low pass over these trees here. We're sinking a little bit, which I don't want. So we're following this waterway here. All right. I think we can switch out the landing lights now. So let's follow this one here. Okay, so we should go through this valley here, and we should hit another waterway or another fjord and head up that fjord until we reach Bella Coola Airport. So I think we should keep on climbing here, because otherwise we won't make this hill. Thankfully the weather has become a little bit better here, with pretty nice visibility actually. And voila, there's the next waterway. And we're going to pretty much follow this one till we hit Bella Coola. Looks pretty amazing. Be right back in a minute. Alright, so we are currently approximately, I would say, just a little over the half of the way. We are going to follow this fjord until we hit Bella Coola. First we're going to see the town of Bella Coola. We're going to fly past that one and then go straight in at Bella Coola, I think. Depending on the wind, but I think it's going to be a straight in. We are hitting some clouds here, or some fog. but it's still okay. So because I still am able to see the ground, so I'm not worrying too much about that. And considering the current weather, I am still keeping the carburetor heat on, and I'm closing the cold air vent here. And you can see cabin is cool but warming rapidly. Just a little bit of cool air. And now we are running into a little bit of problems because I don't like this cloud cover, because this keeps us from descending. So let's hope that this will be not at Bella Coola where we want to land. So you can see that there's another fjord going up to our left side, but we want to follow the fjord here to the right. And the weather looks pretty bad actually here. Certainly not suitable for VFR flying. But I can still see the ground here, or the water at least, so so I'm thinking about descending here because so I think we'll descend here. I can still see the water, I can still see the ground, so it should be okay. Can still see it, it's still okay. But this is certainly something you wouldn't do in real life. So we're going to descend to, I think, something below 1,000 feet, so that we can avoid this cloud here. And we're going to follow this fjord here. Okay, looks pretty good now. These sounds that you are hearing is my program that I have running on the other screen. It's Plan G. It's my VFR planning tool, and it always gives me some warnings when I'm approaching a nav point or an altitude that I planned. So the city of Bella Coola should come up right here, where you can see this daze still covering up our sights. Take a look at those mountains here. Gives a very small margin of error that you can have when you're doing a flight here in this area. Okay, so now we are approaching this, as I always call it, dedicated region. You can see it's very tends to get very detailed when you approach such a region in an ORBX dedicated region. So you can see there's this small port, small harbor here with a lot of ships and some storage. Oh, what is happening now? This doesn't look very good, actually. This looks weird. Okay, so I'm switching off the autopilot now. Come on, where is it? It's here. Oh, okay. Alright, so I certainly forgot to switch the fuel tanks, which is not good at all. Left wing, okay, so... Wow, this looks weird. So I'm descending here. Oh, it's a pity that you can't see this. Come on, I don't want this weather. Okay, this looks really, really weird. But I think it should be a small... should be a layer of fog. At least I think that's what it should be. Come on, I don't like this. Opus... Okay, I don't see shit. Okay, approach speed should be somewhere around 90, and gear's not down yet, so we're going to put that one down. If it's working. It isn't, of course. Now it's coming, okay. I'm still searching for the airports. It should be somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. Take a look at this. Okay. Okay, it's been hard landing. Oopsala. Yep. Oh god, my landings. Take a look at this detail. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, take a look at the ground textures, at how crisp they are. This is This is unbelievable. This is one of the 2 centimeter pixel airports, and it is, I mean, for such a small airport, the frame rate is pretty intense, I think. But it's incredible detail that went into this airport. I'm going to show you in a second. All right. So let's take a look at this. So if you, I'm sorry for the flickering textures here, but it has something to do with the avatar mode I've prepared. But if you take a look at this here, take a look at this here, how detailed these textures are. Like it's really amazing, and you can see that this airport is pretty demanding on your frame rate, and but it's a beauty, a real beauty to look at. So if you're thinking about buying this airport, you can't do anything wrong with it. It's just simply amazing. And yeah, this pretty much concludes, well, I think it was episode 14. I'm going to upload it to YouTube now in the next few minutes, and I hope you had fun. I'm sorry for my bad landing, as always, but you could see that I had some problems with the weather, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Nevertheless, and until we see ourselves the next time, I wish you, as always, happy landings.